Brosplay! You ready for taboos, bro? We're in the game. We're in the thing, dude.
I'm ready for taboos,
There's
bro.
no time to adjust your microphone.
I apologize for adjusting my
Don't
microphone.
apologize.
I apologize!
I didn't ask you if you were ready. It's really not your choice. I really want to block all.
So why is he only shooting? I thought the blue guys were gonna shoot Limitless. Like, how do we know which guys are just gonna keep firing?
Like, because it's not a very good TV show and better as a movie.
Sorry, what?
Limitless?
Jesus. I have not seen the TV show. Is it really not that great?
I haven't watched it. But I figured it's best to give it shit before I know.
Yeah, it's better to assume it's going to be bad.
I mean, nowadays, you know, I only got so much time. You know, I can't be watching Lost in Space.
Lost in Space?
Yeah, even though it's got great actors.
Oh, is that the Will Robinson one?
I mean, Will Robinson is in it, yes.
No,
The
it is the
character.
Will Robinson one.
It is
It is Will Robinson.
the Will Robinson hour.
That's the non-Matt LeBlanc, or Matt LeBlanc
Yeah, yeah.
one.
$1 million worth of equipment, battery worth it.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Before
a flat character.
Before he spends ages putting on like this unnecessary whoop. Nice.
Nice.
I kind of used the amount though.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. He puts this like complicated ass helmet on. And it takes forever to put on too. Oh boy, what's happening here?
I didn't think it took that long. Okay, which guy gets that armor? Oh, yeah, who has, like, what happened to that armor?
I don't know, man. These steel dresses. Armor. Armor.
Armor.
Armor.
Have you ever heard the expression, life is not about just working until you die? You also must suffer first.
Oh, you're gonna say you also have to watch Game of Thrones.
Ugh. Let's not go there.
No!
Yeah, let's not go there.
Let's go right there.
Let's go right there. You really want to talk about Game of Thrones? Gam Thrones?
Actually, like, so the first season just came out. It's a very new show. And we're feeling pretty good about it. We're really, like, we're pretty certain that...
That was a great jump, man. You went right between them.
You know, it's like, it's
How'd
a
you
new
line that
show,
up?
and it's like, it's really good, and we're enjoying it, right? And we don't think that we're expecting them to do several seasons of this show. They're definitely not gonna like do not enough, right?
Well, I'm glad you at least chose who was on the chopping block for that particular one.
I didn't mean to do that, but
well, it worked out.
anyway,
fuck that breeze.
sarcasm was not heavy enough. So all 8 seasons of the Game of Thrones are out, and people are disappointed, and that sucks. Because a lot of people work really, really fucking hard.
That is what sucks. Because
they
I have so much. Whoa.
Wow.
I have so much respect for those people that worked on the show.
The way that they worded it in the documentary about the last season is that they wrote the season so big. That was the word that they used. Like they wrote it big, which is why it took so much production time.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between writing something big and writing something good.
Yeah, I'm always saying that. You saying that to me like I don't know that? You really gonna
I'm saying
go
it
there
to
with
them.
me?
I'm saying it to them.
You gonna go there with me?
Yeah, it just seems like if you've
just
always
don't.
this day had the best expression. If it doesn't work, don't do it.
Right.
And they did it. It didn't work, and they decided they were gonna do it anyways. And that's, I think, what disappoints me more than anything.
Yeah, and the tough thing is, I think it's really easy to think that people are gonna dislike the ending of your thing no matter what, and then to just like to be like unencumbered by that idea. It's like, all right, well, you know, people aren't gonna like it. It's the end. But I think there are great ways to end TV shows. I haven't seen it very often though. That's the problem.
I know. What did you think about the way Dexter ended?
When I first watched it, I didn't like it. But then I heard an explanation of it, and I could understand where it was going.
What did the explanation fill in that you thought helped?
That Dexter couldn't, he couldn't just get away with it, but killing him also wouldn't be a good idea. The idea is actually something that he says in an early season, a fate worse than death.
Really?
Yeah.
Dexter says that.
Yeah. that he's not. He would be more worried about, like, he's less worried about dying. I don't know
Than
why, I'm
living
just like-
a life like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I love the show. I felt like it definitely waned after season 5. But that's pretty extraordinary to get that far.
And to be generally very consistent.
Plus that's where oh my goodness. There's a guy in Black Flags who plays Blackbeard, or I guess it's his nickname. And I have been trying to figure out where I've seen that fucking actor. And now I know he's the guy. He's the bad guy in season 7 of Dexter.
Is that the religious guy?
No, that's 7. Season 6 is that's Edward J. Almost.
And so who's the bad guy you're talking about?
I forget his name. It's very Russian. No, it's Ukrainian.
He's the bad guy?
Victor? I think Victor was maybe his name.
He's not nearly as memorable as the other bad guys, I assume.
No, because there's like another bad guy.
That's right. He's not the primary bad guy.
It's a kind of a complicated thing.
Yeah.
There's also like some hitmen that he goes after, and it's like almost like a montage. It's so easy for him
to take them all out.
Yeah, like he kills them and like it's like boom, 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 dun, 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 boom, and stabbing, boom, 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 and it's like okay, well.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that part was a little drummed up.
Am I supposed to have someone specific for this?
I don't know what's going on here.
Am I supposed to have the? All right.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
You think I give a fuck? Oh wow, this is.
And so you're talking about Black Sails, right? The actor that's in.
The actor, yes.
Yeah, you said Black Flag, which I think is actually a movie.
I said Black Flag.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think the reason why is because they don't actually have black sails. They have black flags.
Right, because they're pirates.
A black flag would silhouette better on the ocean. I don't think it would make a lot of sense. Fucking.
Sorry, what?
You don't stagger on anything but fire.
You do stagger on fire, though?
Yeah. Watch this shit.
Yeah, I actually do wanna. Yeah. No, it's the same stagger. You're just on a moving platform.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the same stagger. So bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know how to play this game, and it's probably very frustrating for people. Okay, I just want to know if I was shielded by this.
Yes, fight fire with fire, dude.
Whoa.
We figured it out.
It's all coming full circle.
But what were you saying about a black flag silhouetting on the
Sorry,
water?
black sails would silhouette on the horizon. It would be easier to see a ship with black flags. You want them to be white.
With black sails, yes, that's true.
No, white. No, okay, yes. The
sails and the flags are different things, bro. Just saying.
Just saying, bro. You're kind of getting in my way there, bro. Okay.
Yes, the priest must be somehow immune to going into it. You should try that next time. Just be the priest and don't move and see what happens.
Beat the priest.
We should point out that we're actually breaking our own rule right now. When's the last time you played this game?
I don't know.
And have you ever played this game with all 4 characters?
I haven't beaten the game.
Right. So like our rule is kind of when we play a game, we're supposed to be informed, so that we're not. Just be right in the way though. I don't want you to tuck your. Yeah, just be right there. Okay, so then maybe the priest is smaller?
Next time on Mythbusters. Yeah, he is shaking his tassels at you. Anyway, they raise the black flag as they approach a mark so that the mark doesn't know if they are a merchant ship or a pirate ship.
So they raise the black flag at the last minute kind of thing?
Well, they raise it at the right time. If you raise it too early, they have time to prepare. If you raise it too late, they may not have time to consider surrendering, and surrendering is a much better.
Oh, so if you get right up to them, they might just think they have no choice but to fight.
Right. And you'd much prefer them to surrender because fighting, you lose your people as well, and you need to get more from the plunder than you lose.
Yeah, if you lose half your crew and you only plunder enough to hire back a quarter.
The fascinating thing about their power dynamic, this is extremely
you gotta take out this ribbit elsewhere.
Fuck your ribbits, you piece of shit!
Oh, man.
Their power dynamic is that they vote on captains and quartermasters. The captain can be voted out without being mutinied. He doesn't have to be killed.
Really?
He can just be voted the fuck out.
Don't you think you'd prefer to be a captain that can be voted out to a captain that must be keeled?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why he has to be keeled. Yeah.
Kill him!
Ready to get keeled, brother?
And the quartermaster it represents. He's not chosen by the what's it called? The captain, because he represents the men. He's voted in by the men as well, and he's also responsible for telling the men, for properly informing them on any given situation, and whether he has to tell them about the dangers of a situation. He is compelled to.
And so, are there women in this show?
Yeah, but not on ships generally.
Oh, okay.
Except for Anne Bonny, who's one of the best characters.
And what I like about that is that is not completely unrealistic, because there were female pirates that were really scary people.
Yeah. Well, pirates are just kind of scary in general.
Well, definitely. But I just think it's sort of like...
Fuck! I didn't have enough goddamn weapon points.
I don't think there was any Mongolian queens. Like, you know, from that empire.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, but that was separated by, like, a long time, though.
That's not really what I mean, though. I just mean to have a ruthless, power-driven world that some women rose to the top of. I think is really cool. Like, I don't think there was female senators in Rome.
No.
Even in Sparta, where women were given a tremendous amount of respect, I don't think they were given that same right. Good job.
Yeah, I would say no. But, I mean, that's what I would say that they did, not what I would agree with.
You're just guessing.
Oh, he's really easy to hit. I just had to do a lot of damage. I just had to hit him like 5 times.
It's like any other boss.
The Roman senator I'm talking about.
You had to hit him 5 times? That's how you get him out of office?
Yeah. That was actually like, it was like Roman law. I didn't realize that wasn't.
That was a great jump.
I didn't know. I didn't look. It was like, look at the way it's visually lined up.
Yeah,
it looks like a platform, man. It's not my fault.
Oh, man.
That guy just doesn't know how to deal.
Stabbed him in the ankles.
Does a big health bar give me more, or did I just not have enough health?
A big health thing does give you more.
Wow.
I actually started watching. We didn't start watching, but I've been watching Santa Clarita Diet.
I like that show.
I started watching like halfway through though, just watching it with the girlfriend.
Timothy Oliphant
and
is the best.
What I love is that he is the freaked out, insecure wife.
Yeah.
It's so great. Their dynamic is perfect.
Oh, it's great. And Timothy Oliphant is so perfect.
Funny, man. He's so funny.
You really feel like how much he cares about Drew Barrymore's character. It's so good.
And just the way he fast talks and like talks about stress eating and
the daughter, so man, epic. She's so funny. She's like ultra confident.
And her friend, who's like supposed to be the most awkward guy ever. He's so funny, man.
He's so good. Like I just think about like how funny he must be on set. Like how much energy he must bring to it.
Man. Yeah, and Drew Barrymore does a really good job.
No.
I'm not crazy about Drew Barrymore because the only things I know her from are the Charlie's Angels movies.
Right.
But this definitely gave me a...
What about Firestarter? I can't tell if that piff was for the...
That was for you falling. I don't know Firestarter at all, actually.
She was actually a kid. She was one of the unfortunates to be introduced to acting as a child, which I think is just kind of fucked up.
It does seem a little fucked up, but don't you think someone has to play the child actors?
I don't think that child characters are more important than any individual child. I'm gonna go ahead and play the card that a lot of people kind of despicably play and say, think of the children. But seriously, think of the children, man. Like I can't imagine pushing a kid into that, or even allowing it. Like how many things did you and I want to do when we were kids? You know, we wanted scooters. We didn't do that very long. We wanted like we were into like Yu-Gi-Oh. Spent a lot of money on that one. Eventually got out of it. Like, but you can get out of it. Oh, I'm into acting. Okay, well, you're in the spotlight forever.
Well, that's assuming you continue doing it. Like,
No, because the guy who played Anakin, young Anakin in Star Wars, was in a single fucking movie and never lived it down.
Oh, that's right.
And he personally blames George Lucas for ruining his life. I don't think it's George Lucas's fault.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was specifically George Lucas's fault.
Like, what am I supposed to
So he really blames George Lucas for ruining his life?
I mean, that's what he said at one point. I'm
I wonder if maybe it would have been okay if those movies were good. I wonder, like, if
well, that's part of it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a good point. It is a very good point. There are some that totally make it through, but there's definitely some that don't do so well. Like, even just look at Macaulay Culkin had some really bad years.
Well, he was also probably
right.
Abused.
Yes, but that's the only reason that he was in proximity to that is because he was in the acting world, right?
Yeah.
So, like, not that that's gonna happen to every child actor, but it's definitely a factor.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what? I'll think of the children. I could agree with that.
You really should.
There are some movies though.
Fuck you.
Some great movies that you wouldn't be able to make without child actors.
You can figure it out.
What, just get really young looking old people, or?
There's adults that look like children. There's good voice acting. There's digital stuff. I don't know how to do this, and I just survived that somehow.
What's really weird is babies.
Yeah.
Like even if I could understand a 6 or 7 year old kid, but the babies is always
I would say that's actually not as bad because
No?
it's like there's almost no recognizable element of them. Like it's something that they can leave, and I would say they have about as much the ability to consent as a like 8-year-old. But then there's other situations where they seem extremely mature. Like Finn Wolfhard seems way older in his head than he is physically.
Who is that?
Stranger Things. He's one of the kids.
Okay.
Like he's still like he was on Game Grumps, which is very like where he's like very default, and he definitely seems fairly mature, but it's still pretty obvious that he's still a kid. And so while it may like he's certainly probably having the time of his life, and he's probably in a much better situation than the kid who played Anakin, but still, I don't know.
Well, and then there's other people like Maisie Williams, who was a kid when she started.
She was quite young, yes.
Right? And that was 8 years ago. I think she's 21 now, so 13.
Yeah. That was so late. I hate that I get out of that when I get hit by something that just feels wrong.
That feels wrong to me too. Yeah, I don't like casual mode. I wish there was a mode with infinite lives where you got knocked back.
You know how long it would take for this? We would not finish this. We would be done.
No, I totally understand. Well, I also think, no, I think you would play it a lot smarter. You're definitely meatheading your way through this whole game because you don't have to.
No, I'm meatheading it because I've never played it before, and I'm trying to talk about Maisie Williams.
Perhaps.
But how about Maisie Williams? Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Whoop!
How old is Maisie Williams? I don't know. Let's Google it.
That's not what I meant.
Oh.
I just meant like she was good, and according to the actors. This game doesn't feel good. I'll say it.
No,
it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like you have a lot of control over your character. And they're probably aiming for that. That's my guess. And part of it is I haven't played it before. I'm not blaming. I'm not playing the blame game. Well, I guess I am.
But I agree with you. Maisie Williams did do a really good job.
Yeah.
I really liked her character.
And according to the actress, she brought a lot of energy.
God, Game of Thrones just bugs me, man.
Just gotta give a Game of Thrones.
There were so many great theories that are never going to be realized, at least not in the show. Like, for example, Jaqen H'ghar could, in theory, be Rhaegar Targaryen.
Yeah.
And that would have been the coolest storyline ever.
Bran could have made him mad. Like, made him the Mad King, right?
Yeah. There's so many things that they could have done. And they decide, you know what? I don't know. I'm not feeling so good today. I feel like my stomach's unsettled. You know what? Maybe I'll just take a shit right on the script, and then we'll submit that and see what they think. I'm being too harsh. I'm definitely being too harsh on D&D, but...
D&D?
Yeah, Dave and Dave.
Dave and Dungeons and Dragons, though. You can't call it D&D.
No, that's what everyone calls them, D&D. Dave Benioff and DB Weiss.
I would prefer to call them Benioff and Weiss, because then it sounds like a...
Sounds like Johnson and Johnson.
Like a buddy cop movie.
That's kind of sound like
Benioff and Weiss?
Yeah.
On an adventure to produce one of the most consistent shows with an unfortunately unsatisfying ending. Shtickabaka-boo-boo.
I really think it would have been okay if they after 6 seasons said, you know, unfortunately we don't have any more storyline to go off of, so the show has to go on hiatus. But that would have killed it. It never would have come back.
Yeah, that's probably what they were worried about.
Well, and so that's, you know, as a fan, I would be interested to see what people's personal opinions are. Would you rather an unfinished, unblemished show or a completed, ruined show? Because I personally think that's what happened.
Well, and now that it's been completed, like, all of that work is, like, almost undone. All that consistency.
Yes. Yes, they put in years, 6 years worth of effort that I honestly feel like they ruined.
Well, someone ruined it. It's always it always comes down to some like weird personal thing.
What do you mean?
Like some individual making decisions was responsible for the extremely short seasons, right?
One of my theories is that it was actually George R.R. Martin himself. Because I'm pretty sure his next book is ready. But if he releases it while the show is airing, they're going to distract from each other, and ultimately they're going to make less money.
Detraction.
And so my thought is he was basically saying, you know, like, no, you guys have to finish this within a certain period of time as part of the contract.
Yeah.
That's my assumption. I'm really not basing that off anything. But
it's not like I doubt the show was hurting for money. They probably had enough money to do the production, right?
And that's what really burns me. If they said, hey, this is going to be an 11-episode deal, and you guys are just going to have to stick with us, even if sometimes it's 2 years between seasons, I would say, okay, deal. Like, we'll stick it out. I waited 2 years for season 7, and for season 8. Did season 7 come out after 1 year?
I think it was like 1.5 for both.
Okay. Because you know, having waited 2 years for season 8, I now feel disappointed. But if season 8 had come out and it was just like season 6, I wouldn't be disappointed at all. It would be well worth.
Hoping, yeah.
Yeah, well worth the 2-year wait. That was very nice.
Is that we were like, all right, maybe season 7 was rushed because season 8's gonna be good.
Exactly.
And it just felt like this. It was like 6 episodes. Are you sure? 6 episodes?
Yeah. Well, and they said they're gonna be feature length. No fucking feature length movie is an hour 20,
no,
jackass.
That's a comedy.
You can't count the credits in the trailers at the beginning as part of the runtime when you're doing a TV show.
No, and an hour 20 is considering those things.
That's right, because the credits were built into that.
On top of the dun 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 dun, which is like an hour, like a minute and a half.
Honestly, that was just a way for them to try and reduce the amount of losses they had by taking out the extra episodes.
Mitigation.
Yeah, because if it was just 6 episodes, people would have been very upset and they might have gotten less watch numbers, but they were trying to, like, pretty it up. Sorry, we really need to stop just shitting on Game of Thrones.
No.
Okay, sure. So what else?
No, I don't. I mean, we should stop now. I just mean in general, we shouldn't stop.
Oh, completely agree.
You can't just say like, because it's hard to make. But like, oh well, don't worry about it then. Like that's just not. There's so many people making great stuff with less time and less money and resources, who aren't making compromises. And the unfortunate thing is that like the whole production kind of gets blamed for probably 1 or 2 people who have said nope, do it.
Well, and because that's what I was saying earlier. I have so much respect for the people who do the visual effects and the people who do the set design and the costume design, the actors, all of those people.
There's a video by Corridor Digital. They do they're associated with Freddie Wong, and they did a video or a couple videos about them as like visual artists watching like popular visual effects and like their opinions on it. And when they got to Game of Thrones, it was like there was a part where they're showing this giant that is walking through the water with dudes on top of him, and they had to design all of that, the lighting, the character so that it fit well, and the camera goes underwater at one point, so they had to like track the water or like cut the water from certain elements. It's an unbelievably complex scene, and it's there for so little time.
Yeah, exactly. You barely even see it.
Yeah, it's amazing, and the dragons are really well done.
Well, and that's what bugged me the most, is that the reason the season was so expensive is they chose to go with so much CGI, right?
Just production in general, like the actual The documentary actually doesn't talk about the computer generated at all. There's just an insane amount of work and time that goes into like the sets and stuff.
Right, and like King's Landing being destroyed, and I guess that's
Did you just spoil that shit?
Right. I mean, sorry, people.
That was an interesting element, though. Oh boy, oh boy. That King's Landing was like the centerpiece of so much of the show, and then in the end, it was like almost completely destroyed. I kind of like that.
And I guess that's what I meant by visual effects, is that they put so much time into these huge, tremendous scenes that they wanted to happen, but it just felt like in the process of doing so, they were deciding that they were just going to use all this money for these... Man, this is an intense fight.
I love this.
They were going to use all this money for these intense scenes, and then that meant they had no money left over to do the other scenes, the regular talking scenes.
Yeah.
But what didn't make sense to me is if you've got 4 or 5 really huge, really expensive scenes in your season, make 2 of them and put a bunch of talking scenes, make 10 episodes.
I'm not sure it was actually money. I think it was time.
But the time, again, is their decision, like you said.
Right.
They could have done this. It could have taken 14 years if they wanted to.
No,
that was their decision.
No. I mean, like, the actual deadline time. Like, if you're saying it was someone who said, you have to get this done by this date, then they were like, okay, well, that's gonna be, like, 6 episodes.
Right, but if that was the case... I mean, honestly, if you're Benioff and Weiss, you have to think about your legacy, because... You know, you went from having one of the best shows ever made to having kind of a lukewarm show.
What I'm saying is...
I don't understand what you're saying,
If they were given not enough time...
Yeah, they should have said no.
They're probably contractually obligated to complete it by a certain time.
That's a good point.
And then you can get sued to shit.
And that's why my theory is that it was George's decision, because nobody else would make that decision. You know how much more money you could make off of having 4 seasons instead of 2?
Yeah.
Way more money, because it's way more watch time, way more hype, way more news coverage, all that stuff.
This character has an annoyingly large jump arc.
Your character?
I jumped past my target several times in a row.
Yeah. And so, you know, that's, like, I think that's the problem. If it was George making that decision and forcing them to do that, then I get it. But if it wasn't, if it was a decision made by by them and the executives, then they fucked up big time.
Yeah. Or maybe it was a grand conspiracy to generate internet buzz before the real 7 and 8 come out.
Oh my god. Well, the way that you're making it sound right now, like it almost sounds like you think it was done the best way it could have been done.
I think that the people working on it did it as well as they could in the time that they had.
Right, and that's my problem, is I feel like the DB, or the D&D, were involved in the decision of how much time they had.
Interesting.
That's my thought. Like, I don't know exactly how accurate that is. You know, I'm not blaming the costume designers.
I think it's purely speculation as to whether who's decided. The point. I mean, it was done improperly.
Yeah, the point is a bad decision was made.
Of course.
Yeah.
Most shows don't end well.
Like, but do they end like this? Like, most shows don't end this spectacularly wrong.
It was only spectacularly wrong because of the bar it set itself.
True.
Most shows are what I like to call trash garbage. Both fit into the wow.
It's quite the swarm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, most shows...
Okay.
That's quite the swarm.
Okay.
Yeah. Most shows gradually destroy themselves over time, right? First season's good, second season's average, third season's... and then they just keep going because they want to make money. Whereas there's a line in Game of Thrones. There's a hard line. Season 6 ends.
How am I supposed to know where this thing is gonna be?
I think you have to memorize it.
That's not balance.
Yeah.
That's I want to be the guy.
What, this isn't I want to be the guy? I thought this was supposed to be hard. I thought this was Castlevania.
Yeah, and Castlevania has balance. There's no memorization in its level design.
Yeah, I don't understand how you were supposed to avoid that.
Like the chandeliers, yes. But like, how would I know that this thing just takes over the entire thing? Like, look at the like, whoa.
Yeah, how the hell were you supposed to know that?
Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
Look,
This makes
I'm
some
so
sense.
fast. I'm so fast as like a hobbling man. Fuck you.
Yeah, what the fuck? Are you supposed to just get up there and know that?
Yeah.
What?
I guess this isn't. No! Faster! Oh, it's happening!
Okay, are we missing something here? What is going on?
It's alright. I got Mr. Man.
Yeah, you kept the most valuable piece.
Mr. Egg McMahon. Oh, can I freeze it?
That's what I was hoping.
Oh. I'm gonna just run. Fuck it. It's gonna follow me, isn't it? Yep, here it comes. See, now this makes sense because I'm naturally gonna do this. So I'm not gonna let go because it's coming after me. Or am I supposed to let go?
This is intense, actually.
Yeah, I was actually not sure if I was supposed to let go or not. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, I got you. I can turn these into platforms, dude. Dude, me and myself. I'm beside myself right now. I look like I'm made of gelatin.
Nice green jello.
Do you know what they call gummy bears in French?
What?
Ourson de gelatin.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, next time we'll be back and we'll probably find the swarm again.
Yeah.
See if we can freeze the swarm.